some of you guys might have some different thoughts about me. I mean, about my tier list. Please feel free to tell me about this. Feel free to tell me. I'll be asking you guys some opinions about the tier list that I make from now on, okay? How can I delete this? Whatever. Okay, let's start. Surge Blade. Surge Blade is definitely tier 1. Any other opinions about this? Does anyone have other opinion about this? The Surge Blade is tier 1. No. Okay, the reason I think Surge is really good because Surge, okay, it's one of the strongest entropy class. There's a lot of entropy class, but Surge is definitely a broken class that I think because people are getting better and better at the raids, so they already know all the patterns. They already know all the patterns, so they have more chance to hit the boss in the back with Surge. Of course, it depends how that player does. If that player is not really good at playing Surge or like the raids, it would perform lesser. But this tier list is going to be depending on the best players in Korea, best players in Lost Ark. So Surge is definitely tier 1. I mean, it's tier 1. It's going to be tier 1. It has good synergies because there's a lot of back attack synergy classes. At the same time, the difficulty is not high with the Surge if you get better at the raids. So this is the reason that I made Surge to tier 1. And then next is Remaining Energy for Deathblade. Remaining Energy is kind of more constant damage than Surge. Wait guys, is it constant or consistent? Can I say constant or consistent? Consistent, okay. For consistent, what I think is, I think it's tier 2.5. I think it's not the worst class. I think it's okay. But the reason I think the Remaining Energy is not over tier 2 or 1.5 because as I played this class, all these classes over Belshazzar, I have been played all the classes over Belshazzar, and I think the reason is you have to hit the boss's back all the time. You should have over 95% of uptime to have almost same damage as other classes, like tier 1 or tier 1.5. This is the main reason. This is the main reason. So I have to hit on the boss's back. I have to keep hitting all the time. I should have over 95% uptime on the boss. And then I can have almost the same damage as tier 1s. Does anyone has other opinion about this? This is what I think. I've been playing this over Belshazzar, and this is what I exactly think. And I think all the Remaining Energy players are going to think as same as me. If they hit full time on the boss, they just get almost the same damage or they lose sometimes. Does anyone play Remaining Energy on my stream? Anyone plays Remaining Energy on my stream? What? There's no Remaining Energy player on my stream? Yeah. So, do you guys agree with my opinion? I mean, it's kind of, it's okay to play, guys, right? Even it's a tier 3, it's okay to play. It means just it doesn't perform better than the tier 1 or 1. It doesn't perform better than others, right? It doesn't mean that, oh, I hate this class because it's tier 3. It's not like this. It means like, even I hit more than other people. I think I hit better than others. I don't think I'm a bad player, but I hit same as others, but I get lesser damage than them, right? 2.5 is too low? You guys think... Okay, what's your opinion, Domi? What do you think about this? Why do you think 2.5 for remaining energy is too low? Two or 2.5 is fair. I learned 2 personally. Yeah, that might be true. It's on your opinion, but as I said before, I make this tier list. I said it's based on my opinion. So yeah, it could be wrong, it could be right, it could be wrong. But I just want your opinions, okay? I'm not saying I'm the king. You should follow this tier list. It's not like this, okay? It's not like this. Just to understand as I played all the classes over Braille, I just want to say this is my opinion, okay? Yep, so let's put it Rain Energy 2.5. The moon sound. Okay, let's make the moon sound and the thirst for the last, okay? I'll make it for the last. I'm not gonna do it now. I want to make you guys rush through my video for the moon sound or thirst. I'll do the demonics first, okay? I'll do demonics. Okay, demonic impulse. Demonic impulse use only 2 gems, and it does perform kind of good with only 2 gems, right? Demonic impulse does perform actually not really bad. It performs decent with only 2 gems, with 1 cooldown, 1 damage gems. The cheapest class is one of the cheapest class, as same as the Legacy Scouter, right? So demonic impulse, I think it performs almost same as remaining energy. Even, okay, it should be because it has a limited ceiling. Demonic impulse has a limited ceiling because it doesn't have tripods, it doesn't have more DPS gems, it only has 2 gems. So it's kind of just so class. That's what I think. There's gonna be more on tier 1, tier 1.5 and 2, so I want to make it to tier 2.5. It could be 2, okay? It could be 2, it could be 2.5. It's nearby there, but I just want to make it 2.5. But I think it's good to play this class. Okay, so let me give you guys a word. Okay, for tier 1, if the tier 1 performs 100%, I think tier 1.5 performs about 95%. If the tier 1.5 performs 95%, tier 2 performs about like 93%. It doesn't have a big gap, okay? It doesn't have a big gap. I just want to say tier 1 and tier 3 has a big gap. Yeah, but on tier 1.5 to 3, it doesn't have that much gap, so I think it's okay. It doesn't matter about the DPS, it doesn't matter about some other stuff. I just want to say they're almost the same, okay? But there's gonna be the tier, so I'm just making that tier list. So Demonic Impulse is 2.5 because it has a limited ceiling, which doesn't perform than other, at the end game, performs better than other end games. I've never seen a Demonic Impulse getting MVP against the tier 1, 1.5s or 2. I've never seen someone getting an MVP with the same spec. Okay? Okay, Perfect Suppression. Here it comes, guys. Here it comes. The Perfect Suppression is the cursed engraving for Demonic. Lost Ark has been trying to buff this engraving for a long time. Yes, they have been trying to perform, they have been trying to buff this engraving for a year. I mean, this was actually better than Demonic Impulse before, right? You guys know that this Perfect Suppression in Korea was performing better than Demonic Impulse before, but it got really bad after other classes are going up, but the suppression is staying there for like 2 years. It hasn't been changed for a long time. So, as I didn't play, I did play Demonic Suppression. I did play a little bit. But as my thought, and as I thought, I've met a lot of people using suppression. So, as my thought, I think it's tier 3. It's the weakest, has no has no pros for this class. I don't think it has a good pros or some benefits about playing this class. Playing this class engravings. It's not a good one. It's kind of cursed one. So Smilegate gonna have to buff this or fix some stuff about this class engravings. Okay. Next, Barrage Enhancement. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. The big one comes. The Barrage Enhancement. Guys, I didn't say a word. You guys are typing one and I didn't even say a word. Hello? Hello? Okay, Barrage Enhancement. I think you guys, for NA people, you guys will be getting the new patch for Artillerist, for Barrage and Firepower. They both are getting patched. We'll be talking about this patch later on. It's gonna be we're gonna be talking about this later, but not on this video, but later. But you guys can find some patches about these on YouTube. There's other videos. There's gonna be comparison between these two. And as my thought, I've been playing Barrage Enhancement and Firepower before the patch and after the patch. And here's my thought: Barrage Enhancement is going for the spec. It's going for the full spec after a patch in. After PTR, we got, it goes for full spec. They separated the Barrage gauge and the Firepower gauge. So they are the separate thing. So since you get the Barrage Enhancement gauge, you can turn into the Barrage mode right away. And it doesn't work same as the Firepower. And it's different gauge from the Firepower. So Barrage is a spec class. I don't know why it's just that strong. They were way too strong. The Smilegate nerfed 10% for the Barrage. Yes. And it's still on a tier 1. It's okay, I'll just say the damage is just insane, okay? The damage is just insane. If I play against the same spec as my Arcana with Barrage, I would lose because he's gonna suck my critical synergy. So I will put this as a tier 1 for Barrage. There was some 4% nerf. The whole thing. The damage was about 4%, but the whole thing was about 10%. The whole Artillerius was about the 10%. He's gonna suck my Arcana synergy, so Barrage Enhancement goes well with crit synergies, and it has one of the strongest DPS. Okay. Firepower Enhancement. Okay, I'm currently playing Firepower Enhancement on my character, and okay, honestly, every time I play Firepower Enhancement, it's in my opinion, guys, okay? It's in my opinion, it's kind of really boring. The reason it's boring is because the class is not fun. No, it's not the class is not fun. It's only about that I just use the same skill every single time. Missile, the nuclear, and the new skill called high impulse impact. I don't know the new skill. There's a new skill called. I just use missile nuclear new skill. Missile nuclear new skill. I just use the same rotation every single time. Putting turrets, using missile, and some stuff. I don't know. It's really. I think so. Even I play with the same spec with this character, this performs not better than other classes. So Firepower Enhancement, I would put it as 3. It's really, really weak. And it's not also fun. I don't want to recommend playing Firepower if you guys care about some DPS stuff. It's kind of easy to play. The difficulty is the lowest among the classes. At the same time, it doesn't perform better than other classes. Okay? Let's move on to Enhanced Weapon, guys. Enhanced Weapon Okay, what do you guys think about enhanced weapon recently? Enhanced weapon for the Deadeye. Tier 1? Tier 1? You guys think it's tier 1? Okay. Honestly, enhanced weapon is going to be tier 2. It's not tier 1, it's not tier 1.5, it's tier 2. I've been playing enhanced weapon. This was one of my rank 1 character in Korea 2 years ago. I've been playing since then. They buffed the enhanced weapon a little bit. But the main problem is it just doesn't perform better than other class if it doesn't have the back attack synergy. The main reason is the bosses moves a lot. Even Cuckoo, Brel, those move a lot. If the boss stay there forever, enhanced weapon might be tier 1.5. But the bosses move a lot. If the boss moves away from the Deadeye, but the Deadeye is using his skill, using the shotgun skill, if the bosses move a little bit away from the Deadeye lose like half of the damage for the skills. So this class is kind of also weak, okay? Also squishy, and even you have a perfect DPS, okay? Even you have a perfect DPS time, it never can win against tier 1 and tier 1.5. Never can win tier 1 or tier 1.5, okay? At the same spec. So this is what I think. It could be tier 1.5 or tier 2, but I just want to make it tier 2. Okay. Pistolier. Okay, Pistolier. Okay. I watched my friend playing Pistolier with end content called Akon. It's gonna be after Bro. I just want to make it like this. Yeah. It's okay, if there's tier 4, I'm gonna make it down here. Okay? If there's tier 4, I'm gonna make it down here. Okay? It's gonna be down on the tier 4, but since we have only these, I would just want to make it like this. Okay? How about we can just play up here and we can put the really bad classes like this, right? This might be better, guys, right? Yeah, let's make it like this. It's gonna be okay, but yeah, I just want to make it like this. Okay? If I have to, I just want to make it like 2. Whatever. Okay, so this is kind of really a meme class. This is a really, really meme class engraving. No, I mean, only like 0.5% of Deadeye players Pistolier. It's, yeah. Yeah. If you guys ask, Handgunner TV, he's gonna say, yeah, you got the right thing, G. You got the right thing. It's tier 3. Okay. Okay, next, Peacemaker, guys. Okay, there's gonna be a lot of opinions about Peacemaker. I think like 20% of my viewers play Peacemaker. Right? 20% of players play Peacemaker, and we can say it's almost same as the Demonic Impulse. It has a limited ceiling. Even you perform with the best, it has a limited ceiling. This is what I think. What I have been thinking. You guys can see, okay? Demonic Impulse, Remaining Energy, Peacemaker. What is the same... what is the... What is the common ground for these three? What do you guys think the common ground for these three? Any opinions? It might be. It's not gonna be 2.5. It's definitely stronger than Firepower and Perfect. It's definitely stronger. Reliable, low ceiling. Not burst, underwhelming, consistent damage. Correct. You're right. Happy Cupcake, Cute Cake. You're right. Consistent damage. Yeah. So Surge, Barrage, they are like sort of consistent damage, but they have a burst damage in one cycle. In every cycle, they have a single burst damage, surge damage. Is it surge damage or burst damage? I don't know. It has a burst damage, right? So that's the difference between 1 and 2. Is the remaining energy same as surge, just not the burst damage wise? No. It's kind of different because remaining energy has a faster cycle than surge. Yeah, it has a faster cycle than surge. Okay, so Peacemaker is, I would put Peacemaker as tier 2, which has a consistent damage, but it's same as remaining energy. Even you hit more than other people, even you think you've been hitting the boss better than other people, you still have low damage than other players. And also you need to use you need to use 7 or 8 DPS gems, 7 or 8 damage gems for Gunslinger, which is really expensive but doesn't perform better than other tier 1 or 1.5 people. Okay, time to hunt. Let's go. Time to hunt. Okay, time to hunt. Let's think about this. Time to hunt is kind of what can we say? It's kind of time to hunt. I think it's kind of a very kind of, it's kind of really hard to give the tier for this. Yeah, it's really hard to give the tier for this. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the gifted sub, Kevin. Thank you so much. So Time to Hunt runs the full spec, right? Okay, let me just do it again after the gifted sub finishes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for 5 gifted sub. Wait. Five gifted subs. Thank you so much. I want to make this as I want to make this as a tier 2, as almost same as Peacemaker, because it does perform almost same as Peacemaker. It does, guys. It does perform almost same as Peacemaker. So I just want to make it as tier 2, but it's kind of performs a little bit lesser than Peacemaker, but it does perform better than the Perfect Suppression or Fire. It might be almost the same, but I just want to make it below 2. So it's kind of not better than Peacemaker. It's always kind of weaker than Peacemaker. It's really hard to perform the full, the maximum ceiling against the Peacemaker. Even though Peacemaker is not a strong class, Time to Hunt is like kind of below the Peacemaker. It performs kind of below the Peacemaker all the time. Okay, let's move on to the Evolutionary Legacy Scouter. You guys are... How many people main changed to Scouter after you guys got the Scouter released? Does anyone change their main to Scouter? Put your hands up if you guys have changed your main to Scouter. Anyone? You added to your 6. You have 17 characters now. What? The Scouter? You added to 6 mains? But I think you guys are gonna abandon the Scouter if you guys get the Reaper or Summoner. Yep, definitely. So, Evolutionary Legacy Scouter is kind of same as the Perfect Suppression. Do you guys agree? It's kind of performs almost same as the Perfect Suppression, but I want to give him some more tiers than those 3 down tier 2.5. I want to make Evolutionary Legacy Scouter as tier 2. The reason is, okay, first, Legacy Scouter has a good stagger, has a decent stagger. Secondary, it has a shield. It's you'll get really easy to maintain your HP. It has a good utility. It has a not really bad, but not really good, but okay DPS. So I just want to make it tier 2 because of all those characteristics. Is there anyone who doesn't agree with my opinion or have different opinions than me? Does anyone agree or doesn't agree with my words here? Are these tiers based on the new changes coming or current? Yeah, they're gonna be on your update, the new update that Korea got. It will be updated to you guys in November or December, I assume. Bad party synergy? Bad party synergy because it's a attack damage increase. That's kind of true because every people use Cursed Doll or Mess Increase these days. Yup, I agree. 6% attack power is not a really good thing. True. But, I mean, for the total thing, Legacy Scouter can be tier 2 as a whole thing. This is what I think. Must be bottom of 2. True. Right. True. It's better than 2.5, but it's kind of a little bit down than 2. So it might be 2.25, right? 2.25. It might be 2.25, 2.3 or something. But let's make it 2, though. Okay? The Argentine skill, guys. Argentine skill. What do you guys think about Argentine skill? Isn't Peacemaker better than Demonic Impulse? Yes. But I just wanted to make it as the same tier because they're almost the same. They perform almost the same. Just wanted to make it like that. Argentine skill. You guys think it's tier 3, 2, 4? It's never going to be 2. Never going to be 2. It has to be 2.5. It's not a meme build though. It's not a meme build, but it's kind of same as the Peacemaker. I just want to make it like this, okay? So we can see that Demonic Impulse is kind of a little bit better, okay? A little bit better than Perfect Suppression. But the gap is kind of big though. Peacemaker Time Tron, they're almost the same, but a little bit better. Peacemaker's a little bit better. The Legacy and the Argentine skill, the Legacy is a little bit better than the Argentine skill. It's like almost the same, but they're just like having some gaps between those two. It's not a meme. Seriously, it's not a meme. Argentine skill is not a meme, but the thing is you need to get ready for 7 DPS gems. I think, is it 7? Is it 5? Wait, 1, 2 for the purple skill. 3 for the blue skill and 2 for the yellow skill. Yeah, 7. You need 7 DPS gems for this. So it kind of requires a lot of damage gems. So it's kind of expensive like Peacemaker. Is it 5? Was it 5? My friend used 7 because he wanted to see some high ceiling. Is it 5? My friend used 7 because he wanted he wanted to use some. He wanted to have some more DPS. I mean, it's only for the rich people. They use 10 level 10, 7 level 10 gems. At least he does. It's 5? It's 5? Some people use 5, some people use 6, some people use 7. I don't know. I think it depends on the people though. It depends who plays it. Yeah, 5, 6. Oh, it's not 7. Okay, it's not 7. Oh, I think I missed that point. Yeah. 5 or 6. Yeah, 5. Some people use 5, some people use 6. Yeah, I think it's 6. Wait, 2. Wait, you guys use 2 for... Wait, so Raid Missile, Baby Drone, Avalanche, Anahil, but Energy Burster, and... Oh, the Tactical Attack. Yeah! Oh! Yeah, we don't use the DPS skill damage for that. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I missed that point. Okay. So anyway, so it used a lot of damage gems. So it's kind of, you need more investment, but you won't get better deep damage than having only 2 gems like a Legacy Scouter. That's the main point. That's the main point. Okay, let's move on to the Hawkeye, the sharpshooter. Let's move on to sharpshooter. Okay, I don't know if you guys used the double engravings recently. In Korea, after the patch, people started using double engravings for the sharpshooter. Most of the players use double engravings because it has the highest healing. I hope not many people plays the sharpshooter. Does anyone play sharpshooter on my stream? Because some people ask me sometimes, gee, do you have a sharpshooter? Can I play sharpshooter? Like that. And I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not. So they play. I only play the Death Strike. I only play the Death Strike sharpshooter. I didn't play the both engravings, but I did try to play both engravings at Trixion. I did. It has it was kind of tricky for me because I had to you know, when I'm charging my snipe, I have to throw the hawk, and after finish charging this, right? It's kind of really complicated at first when I played. It was kind of really hard, but against other classes, it performs okay, but I think, okay, I don't know, but it really does need some changes in the cycle. What do you guys think about the sharpshooter, double class engraving sharpshooter? So we can just put both of them, okay? Okay, we can put the double engraving for the Death Strike because the basic damage is Death Strike. So I want to make Death Strike to tier 2.2 or 2.5. I want to make it to 2. And I want to make the Loyal Companion, the only Loyal Companion, build to 3 or 2.5. But I think it's kind of 2.5, not 3. It's not that bad. I want to make it 3 for only Loyal. I want to make double class engraving for 2. I think it's going to be double class engraving is performing not really bad. It performs almost same as other like these, but it can't be 1.5 or 1. Pistolier is sad down here. This is crying. Yeah, double class engraving is the strongest build that sharpshooters can go at the moment. Only Loyal Companion is not. It's not a mean build though. It's kind of strong if you can play well, but even you play well, you can't win these tier 2, 1.5 or 1s. It's really hard. If you have the same hand, it's the same. It doesn't perform better than other people. Loyal Companion is very strong in NA. I'm talking about after the patch. It's not stronger than Death Strike, definitely. It's not stronger than the double class. It's always lower than the double class engraving in Korea. Okay, here it comes. I want to hide, guys. Can I hide? Can I hide behind the chair? I want to hide for this, guys. I just don't want to do tier for my main. It could be very personal, guys. I could have very personal opinion about this. I will be having a very, very personal opinion about this. I want to be careful about this because I might get ripped by some Arcana players. Gee, I'm gonna stop following you. I'm just gonna, what is it? Ignore you. I'm just gonna, yeah. Do I have to? I don't know. Okay, guys, I'll be honest. Tier 1. I have to make it tier 1, guys. I have to. I have no choice. I had no choice, guys. I had no choice. I had to make it tier 1. It's, I don't care. Whatever, guys. Whatever. Whatever. Fuck that shit. Whatever. I just don't care if it gets nerfed or not. It needs to nerf. Okay, after the patch, I've been saying that this Empress Grace was tier 1 forever. I mean, After the patch, I said, oh my god, this Empress Grace is broken. This is a broken class. This got buffed about like 10%. I told you guys. And this is so broken class right now. It can just beat up every single class. It can just beat up every single class. If I fight with Barrage, I might lose, I might win. Depends on the card. This is the reason that it's tier 1. Okay, I'll make a summary, guys. If I have a good cards, I beat up all tier 1s. Okay? If I have a good card luck, like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, I beat up all the tier 1s. But if I have a so-so card luck, I can be almost same as tier 1. Okay? I can be almost same as tier 1. It could be lesser. If I have a bad card luck, I perform almost same as tier 1.5 or 2. Did this make a good summary, guys? Did it make a good summary? If I have a good card luck, I perform like a tier 0. If I have a so-so, I perform like a tier 1 or a little bit lesser than 1, like a 1.2. If I have a bad card luck, it's like a 1.5 or 2. But most of the time, we got a buff that we have a good card lucks. We have a more core card, we have more balance card, we have more judgment cards. So we have more chance to get some better cards, including the clown card, which is going to be new cards for you guys. The clown card is going to be added for you. The joy card is going to be added for you guys. It's going to be released after the patch. So this is the reason that I think Empress Grace is tier 1 at the moment. It depends on the card, but it performs the tier 1 most of the time. Okay, here it comes, the Order of Emperor. Okay, I got a lot of comment about this on my YouTube, guys. I got a lot of comment about this on my YouTube. The Order of Emperor, guys. The Order of Emperor. This class engraving was really bad. This was like this before. This was like this or this. It was like this before the patch. After the patch, okay? After the patch, it went up to tier 2 or tier 1.5. It's okay, it's between 1.5 and 2. I think it performs almost same as these classes. So the reason I'm saying okay, I always say on my stream, guys, gee, does Empress Arcana is better than Order Emperor? Why do you move on to Empress Arcana, abandoning your Geodos build on Emperor? The reason is it's not about that Empress was strong. I just found some lot of fun playing Empress Grace with the new skill, with the renewed skill called Four of a Kind. And I think the Order Emperor performs okay. It performs okay, but I don't think it's like a tier 1.5. And if I spoil, most of the entropy classes are gonna go for tier 1.5. I think most of my friends will agree with this. Most of the main entropy classes will go 1.5. And this means the normal Hitmaster classes are kind of below the entropy classes. As the people's, how people get used to the raid. They get better and better at the raid because the time goes, they play more and more characters for the raid. They get better and they know when to do DPS with the entropy classes and when not to. So they can play better than before. So this is the reason I put the Emperor Arcana to tier 2. It's not bad. I'm saying it, okay? I'm emphasizing Order Emperor is not a bad class engraving. You can play if you want to. It's not a bad class engravings. Don't choose between DPS between Empress and Emperor because those two are way different class engravings. Those two are way different, so just, okay? Please. I don't want you guys to fight on my YouTube videos or my chat. Don't fight. Don't blame me for abandoning Emperor because I just abandoned Emperor because I found some more fun playing Empress Grace. This is what I just wanted to tell you guys about. Okay? Okay, next. It's going to be Igniter Sword. Let's go. Igniter Sork. Igniter Sork. Yes. Igniter Sork is kind of a good class. Is kind of good class. You guys all know the god of Igniter. The god of Igniter in Korea. There's the tomato ramen, who's god of the Igniter Sork, and there's the NA god of Sork, who is called the next director, Saint Tone. And as I have seen both streams, and I mainly see Saint's stream, but when I always see his stream playing Igniter at the equalized raid like Hell Cuckoo, or some Hell Mode Carligos, or non-equalized like a Khan or that, I can see, guys, that Igniter Sork is kind of a really good class to play if you know how to play well. If you know the boss's pattern, and if you can hit the Doomsday properly, it's gonna be tier 1. But I want to make it as a tier 1.5. But I'm gonna make it tier 1. I wanted to make it tier 1.5, but I'm gonna make it tier 1. Okay, so Igniter Sork is kind of tier 1 class. It performs almost same as Barrage. It's really good. Okay, it's really good. Igniter Sork is, I mean, I want to make it. I just want to say, okay, if Igniter Sork crits a lot, it's okay. It's same as Arcana. If it crits a lot, nobody can beat her up. Okay, nobody can beat her up if it's tier 0. It's gonna go tier 0 if it crits a lot. Same as Surge. If Surge crits a lot, it's tier 0. If Barrage crits a lot, it's tier 0. You guys know what's the common ground for these 4? They're all spec. You know what? They're all spec. And their tier depends on the crit. So if you have a good crit, these can beat up these each other. If they have a bad crit rate, they go down. It's slightly different from Empress Grace because it's consistent damage, but it crits a lot. It has a main crit, so it doesn't really matter for this. But yeah, but this has a card luck. Arcana depends on the card luck. These 3 depends on the crit. So if Igniter has really bad crit, it goes down to 1.5 or 2. If I say if it's a bad crit, even though you're having over 70% crit rate, if you perform less than 40% crit, it goes down to tier 2, of course, guys. It goes down to tier 2. What do you think about buzzing Igniter? We'll be talking about the buzz tier list later. Is it good? We'll be talking about the buzz tier list later. Of course, the buzz tier list is gonna be based on this tier list because the buzz cares more about some DPS. But it's not always about the DPS. Okay? Yeah, this is the general PvE raid. This tier list is about the general PvE raid. So it's mainly about PvE. So not the buzz. The pug. I mean the pug. When you pug. Okay? So I will make Igniter as tier 1. If it crits better, if it crits more, it goes tier 0. If it crits really bad, it goes down to tier 1.5 or 2. Okay, let's move on to Reflux. I've been playing Reflux for half a year, and some of my viewers have been watching my stream for a long time playing Reflux, right? You guys were asking, gee, why don't you play Igniter? Isn't it better than Reflux? Gee, is Reflux good? And you know what? Igniter is same as Empress Grace, and Reflux is same as the Order of Emperor. I want to make it like this. I want to say like this, okay? Reflux is like same as the Order of Emperor. And it's also as same as, it's almost same, okay, so these are all the consistent damages. They have they should have the full uptime for the boss to get some decent DPS. This is the reason that I put these characters to tier 2. Are you going to make Emperor build before you get the changes in November? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, yep. There's not much thing to talk about Reflux, because since I said it's almost same as Emperor build. And let's move on to the Summoner. The Greater Summoner. So the Greater Summoner means a Senior Summoner. Okay? The Senior Summoner, I want to make it as a tier 1. And yes, I've been playing this class for a long time. And I just want to say one thing. I just want to say one thing. It really does need only 1 high level damage gems for the identity skill. That's one of the reasons that it's tier 1. And the other thing is, it's same as Igniter. It's almost same as Igniter. So if Igniter hits the boss, if Igniter hits the Igniter gains the gauge for like in 30 seconds and they hit the boss with the burst damage, the Summoner, the Greater Summoner, the Senior Summoner hits the boss every 15 seconds. Okay? Every 10 to 15 seconds, half of the Igniter sources 30-second cycle damage. So it has almost same damage as Igniter, but it hits more. It's like more consistent Igniter sorceress. We can say it's kind of more consistent damage than Igniter, but it has a strong damage for identity skill, and it only needs one high level damage gem, so I'm gonna make this to tier 1. And I've never lose to a summon who is same as my spec with this Summoner. This Summoner is broken. This Summoner is broken class. This is one of my main class. I'll be telling you guys what I love, which class I love, which class I usually play, which class I main 6. I'll be telling you guys after the tier list, but this is one of my favorite class. Okay, the Overflowing Consensus. Okay, this Summoner is we usually know about Swiftness Summoner. This is used mostly in Hell modes or some equalized raids. Is performing actually really good. Overflowing Consensus is actually a really good class. I really like this class engraving, and this became actually better after the patch, PTR patch, and I just want to put it as a 1.5. It controls with the summon animals, and even though you need more uptime than these two, the main DPS skill, which is called Power and Marlin, which is the animals, you don't have to hit the boss. You just click the keys and it automatically hits the boss. So it's kind of easier to get DPS, get more DPS than these classes. Okay. Yeah, let's move on to Control Glavier. I want to make Control Glavier as tier 2.5 or 2. It's kind of hard to put, but I want to make it 2. I want to make Control Glavier 2. They're playing with the Entropy set with Control Glavier, but even they have a full uptime, they can't beat up the Enhanced Weapon or Overflowing Consensus. I've been watching the stream. I've been watching the plays a lot for Control Glavier, and they never can beat up these classes. Never. I saw never can beat up these classes. They're like just almost same as tier 2s. Pinnacle is going to be as same as Control. It's almost same as Control since Pinnacle players are moving on to Entropy to get more DPS. And that's what I play. I play with Spec, Crit, and Swiftness build with Pinnacle, which we can run the Raid Captain at the same time. We can run the Entropy set. So Pinnacle Glavier and Control Glavier. Glavier is not performing really good, but it's just performing okay. It has a decent utility. It has a good synergy which is 18%. Control Glaive has full-time 18% synergy, but the Pinnacle Glaive has like a 4 to 5 seconds gap between the synergies. But so Control is better for the synergy, but Pinnacle is kind of a little bit lower than Control Glaive. I can say Pinnacle is kind of lower than Control, but it's almost the both are gonna be on the tier 2. Okay. So I want to say Control is kind of higher than Pinnacle. Pinnacle is kind of weak, but it's kind of stronger than these classes. So I want to make it tier 2. Okay. Okay. It's a Shock Training. Yeah, Shock Training was a. I told you guys it's a tier 1 class. Shock Training is a tier 1 class. Before the patch, they nerfed the Shock Training, and it became 1.5. And I told you guys most of the entropy classes are gonna go for 1.5, and this is gonna be one of them. Shock Training got nerfed, it became 1.5. That's all. That's all. It was tier 1 and they nerfed it, they became tier 1.5. That's all. Nothing to explain more. It just became down because it got nerfed. I think it was 3.6%, right? Was it 3.6%? I think it was 3.6, maybe. I don't remember the exact number, but about 3 or 4%, yeah. Taijutsu. Okay, Taijutsu is kind of... Okay, Taijutsu, I want to make it as 2.5. It doesn't perform better than other classes. It just performs lower than other class. It can't beat up these classes. It can't beat up Peacemaker, the same spec Peacemaker. It can't beat up the double class engraving Deathstrike. It's kind of, it can't beat up Emperor. I've seen Taijutsu never win Emperor build. Reflux might be the same as Taijutsu. I want to make Reflux down here, but it kind of does perform as good as other classes, but Reflux might be down here. I want to put it down here, but yeah, I just want to make it tier 2 though. It's not a really bad. It's not really bad. I've seen someone who playing Reflux got MVP against other classes. So if you play the maximum ceiling, you can play really good with it, Reflux. Okay, let's move on to Overflow. Overflow. What is Overflow? Running the only class running Dominion Fang. Not the only class, but most of the Wind Fury class runs 2 Nightmare with 4 Dominions. So I just want to say the only class which runs 6 Dominion Fangs. Sometimes Emperor does, but they run the Nightmare after the patch. So Energy Overflow is the only class that runs Dominion Fang without Awakening Engravings, which performs crazy, but recently we got a nerf for Dominion Fang. Not the Dominion Fang. We can't cancel the animation for Awakening anymore. It's a big nerf. It's a kind of big nerf. It's for the Overflow because we can't cancel. So most of Korean people cancel the animation for Nightmare or Dominion Fang with the shop control or the fix control. You guys have seen a lot on my stream, but they fixed it. It does affect the Overflow, but if someone plays well with the Overflow, they just perform really good. I've seen some Overflow player. Okay, this is kind of TMI, but there's a Grandmaster Zerg player who has been Grandmaster for 3 years. He has been Grandmaster forever. Who plays Overflow? He beat up every level 10 gem players with level 9 gems. That guy is insane. Okay, that guy's Overflow is going to be tier 1, but I just want to make it tier 1.5. It's tier 1.5. He's called Hit. H-I-T-T. He doesn't stream. I'll show you his Loa. H-H-I-T. Yeah. It's him. It's this guy. He beats up with this Soul Fist. He has 5 level 9 gems. He beat up every single people. He has oh, this one's not his one. He has overflow and this one. Yeah, it's this one. He beat up every single people with this eye level. He beat up 1600 level 10 gems with this. He's a soul god. So, except for him, I want to put it as I want to make it as 1.5 if you perform the best. I want to make it as 1.5. It's kind of good, really, really good class. Sophist has been nerfed a little bit, but it's still keeping the high tier. And I think Robos, it has performs almost the same as Overflow. Sophist performs really good now. It's kind of really good. It was like tier 2.5 a year ago. It became high, high, and high. It became really good. So Overflow is a Swiftness Sophist. Robust is Spec Sophist. Both are really fun to play. I want to strongly recommend you guys to play both of the class engravings. They are really fun. They are really fun to play. So I want to recommend you guys to both. And let's move on to Death Blow. Death Blow and ESO Flurry. What do you guys think about the Death Blow and the ESO Flurry? The Death Blow was the king of the Entropy set 3 months ago. However, these classes has been got buffed a lot. They became really strong after the patch. Wait, Surge was kind of nerfed a little bit, but it doesn't really matter the tier. I want to make the Death Blow as tier 1.5. You guys think Death Blow is really OP? Actually, it's not. You know why the Death Blow is 1.5? Tier 1.5? It's because of the card set. If they don't have the card set, Omar and the Lazinus, he's gonna go down to 2. I'm sure about that. He's gonna go down to 2 if he doesn't have the card set. If he used the Light Salvation, he will go down to 2. But he has the card set, he goes to 1.5. Same as ESO Flurry, he goes to tier 2. ESO is kind of lower than Death Blow, so I want to make it a little bit down for the Death Blow. Okay? How come I didn't raid Reaper? Because you guys don't have the Reaper, but I want to make the Reaper for the last. It's going to be the main thing. Okay? I want to make ESO a little bit performing lower than Death Blow, but it's still good. It's still performing okay. It could be tier 1.8 or something if I had one, but I want to make it as tier 2. Tier 2 is perfect for ESO. And Esoteric... Okay, the ESO Wardancer. What do you guys think about the ESO Wardancer? ESO Wardancer, I can say it has so many builds. It has too many builds. It has like hundreds of builds that every single people use different builds. I'll show you, okay? So if we look at the ranks for the Wardancer, okay, first intense, ESO, first intense, ESO, ESO, first intense, intense, ESO 3, ESO 1, ESO 1, ESO 1, ESO 3, intense 3, okay, ESO 1, ESO 2, ESO 2, ESO 3, intense 2, intense 3, intense 1. Okay, there's no intense 1, by the way. Okay. There's so many. Oh, here comes. Who is this guy? He's the #1 Twitch. Zeal's Twitch. There's the Giga Chad. Okay, so there's so many builds that ESO has. ESO or Wardancer has. But as I played both of the builds, I want to make ESO as tier 1.5. It performs actually good because of the card set too. Let's see what he used. Laziness. Yes. Wait. Yeah, he used Laziness. What does Nodally use? He used Laziness. What does this guy use? Laziness. You know what? Without Laziness, Death Blow is gonna be tier 2. ESO War Dancer is going to be tier 2. Those two are going to be tier 2 without Lazinus. Those two have really good for the Lazinus card. Those two works really good with the Lazinus card. So if you guys want to perform better with these two classes, you guys should get the Lazinus card set. I don't think it's going to get nerfed though. No. It's as hard to get as Light Salvation 30 Awakening. So first intention. Okay, here's the thing. You guys saw me playing First Intention a lot on my stream, beating up all the classes with level 5 gems. Of course, it was in Hano, so it doesn't matter. Okay, First Intention is the same as the Death Blow and the Esoteric. Okay, First Intention is like the Death Blow, ESO is like ESO, but they're the different stuff. First Intention has too much consistent damage, so you have to have like over 90% of uptime to perform as good as other classes. But okay, as my opinion, if you have the same uptime as these classes, it performs better than these. First Intention is kind of like tier 1.8 or something. I want to make it like 1.8 or something. It's kind of better than some of the classes here. It's definitely better than Reflex. I can say First Intention is definitely better than Reflex. But I just want to put it down to tier 2. It might be over than tier 1.5 or tier 2, but I just want to make it tier 2. I mean, it's almost same as Esoteric though. Okay. Let's move on to the Drizzle and Wind Fury. Okay, for the Drizzle, I didn't play the Drizzle actually, but I've seen someone playing. I've seen many people playing Drizzle. But you know what? Drizzle and Wind Fury performs the same. Wind Fury performs actually better than Drizzle, but Drizzle can perform really good as Wind Fury. So Wind Fury is gonna be at tier 1.5. The reason is it has a super good synergy. It has the same synergy as the Blade. It's like when it turns on the Identity Gauge, it has attack speed and movement speed for the synergy for the whole party. It has really good synergy. It also has a synergy skill, and the DPS is really good. Even though it's consistent damage, the DPS is just broken. Yes. Drizzle, for the Drizzle, I want to make it to tier 1.5, but I think it's kind of like Death Blow and like Esoteric is like Wind Fury. First Intention is like a Drizzle. I just want to make it like this. Wind Fury is a Swiftness Aeromancer, and Drizzle is a Spec Aeromancer. Both are good though. Yeah, both are good. Both are really good engravings. I just want to. So if you're worried about, oh, is Drizzle weak? No, it's not weak. If you want to play the Spec, you can play Spec. If you want to play the Swiftness, you can play the Swiftness. You guys will get this class. I mean, I think it's going to be next year though. But just think about it, okay? So if you want to play Swiftness, go for Wind Fury. If you want to play Spec, go for Drizzle. If you want to go for Swiftness, play First Intention. If you want to play for the Spec, go for Esoteric. That's all. That's all, guys. Okay. Next, let's not think about the supporters. The Zerg's Technique. Here it comes, the Zerg's Technique. What do you guys think about the Zerg's Technique? Here comes the Brazil's Technique. What do you guys think about the Brazil's Technique? Tier 1? Okay, tier 1 Booba Zerg's Technique. Have you seen Booba from the Zerg? No. 2, 1.5. Oh, I can see a chat who wrote the exact right thing. But I have some different tiers for that. Okay, Zerg's Technique performs 2 to 2.5. Okay, it performs 2 or 2.5. I think it's 2, but it performs 2 with the Salvation set or Nightmare set, but it performs 1.5 or 2. Okay, it performs 1.5 with Entropy set. If you can hit the boss 100%, not 100, but if you can hit the boss over 90% from the back, it's tier 1.5. But it's kind of same as Remaining Energy. Okay, it's not a, it's a burst damage. Zerg's Technique is a burst damage, but if you don't have the Gundancer with you, you can't beat up these classes. I have the Zerg Technique build. Yep, Saint has the Zerg Technique build. We both have the Entropy set build, but we will think the same. If we can hit the over 90% from the back, it's kind of tier 1.5. With the Condenser, it's going to be tier 1.5, but without that, it's going to be tier 2. It's kind of okay. I think Mayhem is the same as the Zerg's Technique. It performs almost same as the Zerg's Technique. This is what I think. It's almost the same. How's Dominion Fang Zerg tier? Can I make a tier 5 for that? Oh, I'm just kidding. I've never played that, so I can't say, which is just good. Mayhem is 3. Mayhem might be 3. You guys think, okay, Mayhem is 3 because it's really squishy, but no. I'm making this tier list relying on the full performance that people can make. This is performed by the best people. For the best people, they can perform as a tier 2. Okay? Not the stupid people who dies every time in the bug with Mayhem. Not those people. I just want to say the people who performs the best. Okay? So these two are going to be almost the same. And then let's move on to the Destroyer. And as I told you, most of the back attack classes are going to be tier 1.5. And that includes the 1.5 tier for the Rage Hammer. Rage Hammer is a super Giga Chad class right now. It was like tier 2 before the patch. It got tier 1.5. It became really good. It was, okay, the maximum ceiling for Rage Hammer was tier 1. I'm saying, okay? Rage Hammer, it was tier 1. But they deleted the... You guys know what I mean, right? They deleted the outside additional damage that we can get if we hit the boundary for the skill. You know what I mean, right? For the Perfect Swing and for the Seismic Hammer, you guys have it right now. Seismic Hammer, if you hit the boundary, you get more damage. But they deleted it and they made it easier to play, so they got lower. I want to make it tier 1.5 or 2. I want to make it 1.5 or 2. But... you know what? I lost to Rage Hammer. The party I played in the raid was Surge, Rage Hammer, Arcana, that was me. With support, I lost against Rage Hammer, who was having the same spec as me. It was this guy. I even remember the name. No, I think he quit the game, guys. Yeah, he quit the game. No way. When I was 16, 15, I lost against him. He quit the game. This Giga Chad quit the game with 10-7 stone. He quit the game with 10-7 stone. 10-7 stone? Seriously? 10-7 stone? You quit the game? How many fucking destroyers does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What? Thank you for the prime magic shot. Thank you so much. What the 12 fucking destroyers? I'm so sad that this guy quit the game, but Why do you have Earth Eater level 10 gems still? I think he's selling the gems right now. Okay, so whatever. So this guy with the blade, Rage Hammer is a tier 1 with the synergy. Rage Hammer performs better than these classes with the synergy. So this is what I think. And the gravity training is okay. This became kind of meme build again, guys. Okay, you guys were thinking, oh, is gravity training getting better? No, it became tier 2.5. No, not many. No one plays gravity training. I hardly see anyone playing gravity training. Let me see. Let's see. Sag. 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 people who plays gravity training out of 4 people out of 20. Okay, nobody plays gravity training here. 1. So gravity training like sort of became a meme build, but if you want to play, you can play. So these guys, I mean these guys who plays the gravity training are not people who's like a dung eater or something. They are just enjoying the game. You know what? Okay, this is out of this tier list, but I just want to say one thing. When you're choosing your main, don't think about the performance. This is what I say to my friends. This is what I always say to my friends or my viewers. Don't think about the performance. If you care about the performance about the class, and if you choose the best performance as your main, you will regret someday. You will regret someday about choosing your main as a DPS, as a strongest DPS class. You will have to regret for that. So just play as your main whatever you want to. Don't care about other people's site or something. Just play whatever you want to. Best performance DPS Poly. RIP. Okay, let's move on to Gundancer. There's Lone Knight and there's Combat Readiness, Gundancer, and here's the thing. Gundancer, we can't put the Gundancer like a DPS, but if I have to put it like a DPS, okay. We didn't say that this is all about DPS. We were saying about some synergy. We were thinking about synergy. We were thinking about the utility and all those stuff. So what I think, Lonely Knight is kind of tier 2. And the combat readiness is like a tier 2.5. Okay. The tankiness is like a tier 1.5, like 1. But if I have to think about all the thing, if we have to take someone to the party, which we lack of DPS, we would take Lone Knight instead of combat readiness. Of course, DPS Lone Knight is stronger than combat readiness. Combat readiness doesn't perform better than Lone Knight, and also for the tank, it goes for swiftness, so we get the shorter cooldown for Nilasia. The taking care of DPS is better for the Lone Knight too. Okay, so it becomes like this. This is what I think. Let's think about. Let's watch. Let's go for the Moonsound and Thirst for the next one, guys. It's the last one. We're not gonna do about the supporters. We're just going for the Moonsound and the Thirst. Okay, and okay, you guys don't have this classroom. I've shown. There's a YouTube video on my YouTube, guys. There's it's kind of long though. It's kind of long video, but we have the YouTube video called the Reaper Showcase, and it has the. I was explaining about the both class engravings, about this, and if you look at this, there's a Moonsound and Thirst for these two. Okay, there's Moonsound for these two. For the Moonsound, I want to put it as 1.5, but I want to make it as 2, but I can't choose. Thirst is definitely 2, and Moonsound, I want to make it as 1.5. Since it's a spec build, this is spec swiftness build, both run spec. So this is the tip what I want to tell you guys about. This is spec swiftness build. This is spec crit build. But the difference is Thirst is way more consistent damage than Moon Sound. Moon Sound does a burst damage once in like 6 or 7 seconds. So Moon Sound is kind of like Deathblow Striker. But if I have to compare between Deathblow, Moon Sound, Deathblow, those are almost the same, I think. They perform almost the same with the best people who plays it. Pistolier, I just don't want it to make it as tier 3, but you guys know this, right? You guys know what I mean. You know what? Pistolier and the DPS artist has the same DPS. This is the shocking part. You know what? DPS artist has almost same DPS as these people. As these classes too. This can perform as good as these classes, but the only reason is because it doesn't have the synergy, by the way. Anyway, so if having no synergy for both, Pistolier and the DPS artist has the same DPS. This is true, guys. This is the real true. And yeah, we'll just leave the supporters here because they're just good. Supporters are God. There's God supporters. We always wait for the last supporters all the time. And yep, this is the Geodao's tier list released at October 20th. I'm going to save this. I will give you guys out this link if you guys want. Log in to save my tier list to profile. Just gonna download the image. Okay, this might be my tier list for today. And I just wanted to say you guys again, this is not going to be the answer. This relies on me who plays over all the characters over Bellshaza. Okay, this was the tier list for the Bellshaza over Bellshaza. I just wanted you guys to know. I just don't want you guys to fight against these classes. You guys are OP. You guys get nerfed like this. I don't want you guys to do like this. But I just want to make this tier list is gonna be just for, just rely on my opinion. Okay, it's not for fun, but it just relies on my opinion, guys. Okay. This is gonna be uploaded on my YouTube, by the way. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this tier list stuff. Does anyone has like different opinion about this? Okay, I'm just gonna stop the YouTube video here. And does anyone have like other opinion about this? I just wanted to do these stuff more from now on because I buzzed too much, guys. I buzzed too much on my stream. I doesn't really communicate much with you guys, so I just wanted some more communication with you guys. I want some more talks with chat. Wanted to give you guys some more informations. That's what I want to do. Tai should be higher for sure. Tai? Yeah, I wanted to make it 2. I wanted to make it 2. But it's kind of 2.5. But yeah. Why is Remaining Energy Deathblade tier 2? If you look at the first of my VOD, first of the tier list VOD, you can find it out. Mayhem in DPS excluding survivability is still in 2. Including survivability, it's still tier 2. Yep. Could you summarize what you thought about Firepower Barrage? It's really consistent damage, but it's not fun. It's not really good class. I mean, it doesn't perform really good. It performs lower than these classes. Even I do DPS all the time. It's really hard to beat up other classes with firepower. Taijutsu with 2 with Beatrice? Does Taijutsu run Beatrice? No, they don't. Scrapper. Taijutsu. They don't perform the... Do they perform Lazanis? They don't. No, they don't. Do you expect your classes will be nerfed? I'm pretty sure. Why is it tier? Why is it at tier 1? I think it moved on there. If Rage Hammer's tier 1.5, why isn't Lone Knight there 1.5? It was including the DPS. The DPS gap between Lone Knight Rage Hammer is like 20% DPS gap. But why is Lone Knight at tier 2? Because of the synergy and some Nilasia stuff. Taking care of the DPS. This is not the DPS tier list, okay? I'm gonna put the comment on my YouTube. It's not about the DPS, okay? It's not only about the DPS. It includes the DPS, but this is the reason that Lone Knight got some more points since it doesn't have the good stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of calling for a buff, no? Nah, not for like buff or nerfs. I'm just, yeah. Performance tier list. Yep, exactly. Performance, not DPS tier list. I don't want to do DPS tier list because, of course, Lone Knight's going to be the last. Of course, combat readiness, gravity training, and these going to be the last. I don't want to do DPS. It's just obvious that DPS is like, yeah. If the reflux, well, okay, guys. If the reflux can't use the flash with X, I will put it as 2.5. Do you guys agree? Reflux has a super incredible massive utility that she can just use X every time. Different from the Igniter. So I put it as a tier 2, not only for the DPS. If she can't use X, I will put it as tier 2.5. Yeah. Why is time to hunt so low? It's not okay. I said Peace is kind of weaker than Peacemaker. It's a little bit weaker than Peacemaker, but it's almost the same. But I just wanted to put it as 2.5, including the stagger and those stuff. You know what? Time to Hunt doesn't have a better stagger than Peacemaker. You guys know this, right? This doesn't have better stagger than Peacemaker. You guys know this, right? It includes. I mean, okay. It includes the whole thing. If I have to go like specifically, I have to think, oh, what about the stagger? What about the safety? What about the squishiness? What about those? I have to think about all those stuff. It's gonna take like 5 hours to 10 hours to do this. Time to Hunt has, I mean, not no stagger, but low stagger. Were the gravity training buffs not enough? No, they nerfed a lot after the buff. They nerfed the buff. They buffed it and they nerfed again. So you would like to see the tier list ordered within the tiers left to right. I can't just compare against these stuff. No, I can't just compare between 1.5s and 2s. It's really hard. Perfect Suppression need a class rework? Pretty sure, yeah. Yeah. Or guys, just make it as an entropy class with every single skills on it. Isn't every single skill on the back attack? I think it just needs some more damage buff. I don't think it needs like a rework though. It just needs some damage buff. You know what? If they buff the normal skills for the demonic impulse might go up a little bit because they do use some skills for normal skills. But the suppression will go up a lot, like tier 2 or tier 1.5, if they buff the skills. I think they should buff the skills for demonics. I think they pretty sure need to do that. And they should buff the skills for the normal skills for firepower. They nerf too much. They nerf too much. Perfect Suppression does more than remaining energy? Oh, never. I don't think so. I don't think so. That remaining energy must have like 60% uptime for the boss. And the suppression had like 80%, 90%. Most people in Loa still using Serendipity over 4 Wakana and Empress Arcana. Why is that? They do. Because they want to, or they don't want to change the build? I don't know. Let me see. Empress 3, Emperor 1. Oh, it's a Chaos Dungeon build. I don't think so. Oh. Barricade is bad with the recent patch. I don't know why. You know what? Okay, I'm not saying like all these people are bad. I'm just saying the rank is not everything.